you want this one and this is
All right. We'll call the meeting of December 14th, 2021, Granite City School Board meeting to order. Please roll call.
Stacy.
Here.
Vinny.
here.
Knoble.
Here.
Kern.
Here.
Nunn here. McMaster.
Here.
Wolmsmeyer.
Here.
Forbes.
Here.
We have
At this time we'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the invocation given by Grigsby Principal Don Stratton. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Gracious Heavenly Father, we are reminded of your words from the 91st Psalm. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. And I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in Him will I trust. Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. Heavenly Father, we are in the midst of a pestilence at this time. I pray that your arms of love and care and compassion would wrap around our district, our families, our students, and our staff. God, I pray that you draw them close to you for your comfort, for your care, and for the peace that you offer us at all times. Father, I pray that you would surround this Board of Education tonight for decisions that are made. Let those decisions be made with your blessings. Father, I pray that you would continue to bless this district, that you would continue to keep our students safe. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. At this time, we'll open it up for public comment. Do we have anyone tonight? Any items for public comment? If not, we've got a whole list of here, things to go through, different announcements.
They're good things.
They're very good
They're
things.
good
Very good
things.
things.
At this time, Mr. Don Stratton, principal currently of Grigsby Intermediate School, would like and requested to address the board. We're gonna entertain them in a moment.
Well, I took a lot of time putting this makeup on, and it's covered by this mask. It'll have to come on off right at the end. It's
Okay.
really important. I would like to take this opportunity to thank some people and just share what my thoughts are of the last 28 years. Back in 1994, Dr. Steve Balin told the board, let's give Stratton a chance, when no one on the board voted for me. And they did. So I thank him for his guidance and encouragement. Mrs. Cindy Mills, during a very difficult year, her words of compassion and kindness always. Mrs. Kristen Novosich Caberna, her wisdom in encouraging me to try administration. Superintendent Can, you haven't been around that long, but I do remember in January of 2015 at Accounting Institute, you spoke some very profound words that hit my heart. Character education is the plate that everything else at school is served on. It cannot be all about the numbers and the data and the test scores. Even those things are important. They are not the most important. If a student is not having fun, it's very difficult for anything else to happen. If we're not meeting their physical and emotional needs, then we have failed. Have fun and learn something. Seems small, but those are powerful words. Who would have thought that at the age of 40, I could find a career that would be so fulfilling and rewarding after 20 previous years in the workforce? I hope that my career as a music teacher for 19 years and administration for 9 years has left a mark on many students' lives. You see, I believe that Mrs. Batson and I have created a culture at Grigsby which encourages teachers to stay. According to the Illinois State Report Card 2019, Grigsby has a 91.8% retention rate, which is higher than the state and our own district. I believe that we have created a family where when one hurts, the entire group comes together for a resolution. We've had many instances where we've seen that very thing happen. I will miss that. I think that after 48 years in the workforce, it's just time to step down. I thank you and appreciate the opportunity that I've had to serve this district and this community for the past 28 years. Let me leave you with these words. Every idiot who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips should be boiled in his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly through their heart. Why, you'll learn soon enough, child, that Christmas is a humbug. Bah. Thank you.
Well, I know we probably all like an opportunity. I've known Mr. Stratton quite a few years, and he's ever the showman. And he's been more than an administrator, though. He's been a real integral part of our community, Don. And the shows you've been in, the annual Christmas gift, you started our season off every year in the city with your portrayal of Scrooge. You've been such a center part of the community. And it's people like you that make this the special kind of community it is. And I've appreciated your service to the district very much.
Sure, Susan. I don't even know how to explain what you've meant to this town, this district. It's more than just being a principal in a school. Your parents are continually saying how much they appreciate you. I might cry out. Appreciate you and talk about how you care about their kids. And I've watched that. I know I haven't been here very long, but I've watched. And by the way, I had no idea that you were at that thing we did in 2015. But we have the same thought. We believe that if you can get through a kid, you have to get to them where they're social emotional. You have to have that relationship. So I really appreciate your modeling that and your showing that to our kids for all these years. So I just wanted to just say that. So.
And I'll add to that, just inspiration, inspiring others, inspiring teachers, inspiring the students is just so much appreciated. And you're right, that certainly reflects in the retention rate that you have there at Grigsby. So we appreciate everything you've done. And certainly don't be a stranger because, this is a close family, so we appreciate it.
Always welcome.
And with that,
a perfect example of, we would like the Board of Education and myself would like to recognize and thank the Grigsby Intermediate School students and administration, Ms. Patson and Mr. Stratton, for raising $1,874.76 through coins, correct?
The Change Wars.
Change Wars. You want to explain that a little bit?
There is no shortage of coinage at Grigsby. And I took 5 barrels of it to 5-gallon buckets to the bank. They also agreed there is no shortage of coins here.
And it was their student council that raised this for families in need during the holidays and for school supplies. I mean, and for other things that the student council does that throughout the year. So that's just amazing to me that those students came together. I mean, in coins, $1,874. That's just amazing. So hats off to the students and to the administration of Grigsby. We wanted to thank you for that as well.
And at this time, could we have that?
This will be a great thing, great time for this. Thank you, Mr. Stratton.
Would you mind coming up, please? One more time. Everybody's got to see you now.
Yeah, now you gotta come. This full regalia right here, right? We need to have you on camera. Yeah, definitely you need everything, right?
Oh,
Yeah, we need it all. Except this is now is the Scrooge after the spirits have been there. So now he's a lot friendlier now, right?
Sure.
After he's gone through his reprobation. That's right?
Don, we have an award for you, so I'd just like to read that. Appreciation award presented to Mr. Don Stratton with deepest appreciation for his many years of dedication and service to the Granite City School District and community. Granite City School District number 9, Board of Education, dated December 14th, 2021. Thank you so much.
Photo op.
Right in the middle.
You get in the middle.
Okay.
You're taller than both of us, and a half, too,
I'm
right?
shrinking terribly. Okay.
And Don,
You
as
did
you
great.
contributed to our high retention rate, we are still hiring bus drivers.
That's not gonna be me.
You can still serve the district.
I love it.
Don't miss a thing, I appreciate it.
What I'd like to do now, I'm looking for Mrs. Heath. Is she not here? Okay, well, I'm still gonna do it, whether she's here. You wanna be a stand-in? I'm still gonna go over and
I
do this
should not be,
anyway.
he should be.
Yeah, Derek, come on up. Tonight, we wanted to honor one of the high school faculty members, Miss Amy Heath. She's also department chair for science, robotics coach, National Honor Society, help me out.
Yes.
Mother's
Get going.
There's just not much she hasn't done over her years of service. She is a year younger than me. She graduated a year before me here from Granite City. She likes to rub that in. So what we wanted to do tonight was to present her. We nominated her for the Emerson Excellence Award in Teaching. This year it's only awarded to about 80 teachers throughout the entire St. Louis metro area. It's looking at tens of thousands of teachers. So it's a really big deal. They usually have a big dinner. They get to present that, but they didn't have that this year with COVID, the pestilence again. So we wanted to recognize her ourselves here at the board meeting, but she's probably busy doing robotics or whatever else she's doing.
She's always busy, yeah.
So, and she doesn't love to get she doesn't like to be up here to be awarded, but when we put a video together, Mr. Mitchell put together a video on this, and how many responses or how many people liked that and commented on that?
A lot.
Like way hundreds and hundreds, right? Of former students. It was that in itself to me was a tribute, a better tribute probably than our plaque, having all those students respond to that. I just think it's pretty amazing. When I sent in the submittal, the last line I used, I asked a student from last year, Kaylee McKenzie, to give me a quote about Mrs. Heath, and that's how I ended my submittal too. I like to think that sealed the deal, right? So I want to present this to Darren in dedication. It's the 2021 Emerson Excellence in Teaching Award winner for Miss Amy Heath in recognition of her innovative and teaching excellence to the students of the Granite City Community School District number 9 on December 14, 2021. He'll make sure she gets it. Make a big deal on the announcements, maybe. She loves that, right? So we miss that she's not here, but we're thrilled that she's here with our teachers and our community. And our students. Thank you very much. We'll give her a hand. You did. Oh, you better. Okay, where are we now?
Mrs. Heath, wherever you are tonight, congratulations. We certainly appreciate everything, so.
I'm just gonna go back. Okay, might as well stay here. We'd also like to recognize our student council and our honor society with Miss Linda Ames is gonna come up with 2 students. If you could do that now, please. We had a very tragic thing that happened in our community with the, with the death of one of the Pontoon Beach officers, Tyler Timmons. It really hit hard in our community, and we're going to take it from here, what the school did at the high school.
Well, we, the girls, this is Bella Brookshire, she's the student body president, and this is Caitlin Liniger, who is the second vice president of student council. Peyton Hatfield couldn't be here this evening. After the incident, we all got together, along with Mrs. Heath and Bill Peasy, as the NHS sponsors, and we knew that we had to do something, so we quickly put our minds together and got everything together for a collection. NHS took care of putting the black and blue ribbons on the trees around the entire campus, and we took care of the collections during lunch hours for 2 days. And over the course of 2 days and a few days longer with some staff donations, the high school collected $3,000 for backstoppers. And we were completely overwhelmed by that, and we got plenty of change also. So, yeah, you know, you just never know what the kids are gonna come up with, and it was overwhelming, the amount of money that the kids, especially after the first day, the second day that they, you know, they were making, they brought money intentionally. It wasn't just change in dollars that they had in their pocket, and we were very moved by that. And we also purchased blue and black ribbons that we handed out when donations were made. So we've always been moved by the generosity of the student body. It's whenever we've needed anything and we've asked them, they've came through for us.
And Principal Depew also was a big component of
Oh, yes.
this, and making sure it was his idea to do that at the high school. We continued with the district contribution. The whole district contributed like $5,600 to Backstoppers. I do want to give a little talk about Backstoppers. They have two main points that they do. One is to pay off debt for families of fallen officers, and also then to provide education for my family members throughout the time that those students may receive that. So it was very important for us to make sure that we did that as well. Officer Stacy, would you like to come up here for a minute? We are fortunate enough to have a board member who is also a police officer in the Granite City District. We'd like to also have Assistant Chief Rob Chardon come up at this time too. Officer Stacy has been a large part of this community. He has been a SRO in the district. You have been to board meetings before. It's just, he has a group also that works directly and helps families of fallen officers get the funerals and everything going too. But in the Pontoon Beach situation, they had a Friday, Mr. Depew had on Fridays, that day of the collection, every student was to wear blue in honor of Officer Timmons and the fallen others. So what we did, we had our communications, Chris Mitchell go out and took a picture of them at that time, and we'd like to present that also to the Pontoon Beach Police Department at this point.
That's really nice.
So this was in the atrium of the high school. We called all the students down that had on blue, and it was really overwhelming. We had there's some up on the top too.
Down the side.
And down the side. It was tough to get them all into the picture, but it was overwhelming, and it was a great thing to see.
And we really wanted to, we talked to Chief Madrusik as well, and we really wanted to offer this to you. I know you were saying you had all these things and wanted to put things on the wall and how much it meant to you. So it's really important to me that the girls went and hand that to him. I think that would be the best.
Here, we'll take a photo.
So,
We'll get you guys all in there.
here, okay.
Go this way.
Yeah, no, here we go. I think that this is a nice remembrance and to show the support of the community, especially the students at Granite City School District, how much life Officer Timmons meant.
Absolutely. We can't say enough about the support we got from the school district. The high school, I know you guys spearheaded this event and raising the money. That's fantastic. I know there was other schools in the district raising money as well. The elementary schools had their kids drawing pictures and things for it. It was amazing, everything that you guys did, including the administration came and brought us food and drinks, things like that. We can't say enough how much we appreciate everything the school district did for us. And thank you to the school board for having this for us tonight.
It was just really important. They play such a vital role in the community, and we
And
wanted to be.
we are one.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
We are one.
We are all one. And I wanted, this is a time where unfortunately we all came together, but that day I was over there, Darren had them all, Mr. Tree had them all come down, and it was just an amazing moment, really, to watch that, so.
Well, I would like to add too, your board member Eric Stacy. We couldn't have done
I know, that's what I
We
wanted.
couldn't have done any of this without Eric. He was there every day after it occurred and helping us along the way, guiding us and how to handle a situation like this. So thank you very much.
And what is the organization that you're with?
Illinois Concerned to Police Survivors.
And I wasn't familiar with that, and he helped us understand the role they play in that too, and it's really important in finalizing plans and while families
We
grieve.
couldn't have done it without their organization at all.
So I wanted to recognize that as well, and I wanted to thank the students especially, it just meant a lot. So.
Yes.
So, bad situation, and it's just going well there for you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
It's a great reminder of how in such tragic times, such good comes out of it. And students, I want to thank you very much for what you've done and kind of spearheading this for the entire school. So I appreciate that.
Thank you, Dan.
Let's move on after that. We do have a couple of presentations of folks that will address us in the executive session tonight. Other than anybody else tonight in? Yep. Okay. Then moving on. Approval of the minutes from the November 9th, 2021 meeting.
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Vinnie,
Aye.
Knogle,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
Nunn, I, McMaster,
Aye.
Stacy,
Aye.
Wilmsmeyer.
Aye. Consent agenda. Several items are on the consent agenda. We can take any of those off if you would like, or we can approve it as is. So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Other than to say thank you again to many, many people who continue to contribute and make donations. We greatly appreciate this list there of several $100s of contributions coming to the schools. So we appreciate that. Roll call, please.
Knogle,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
Nunn, I, McMaster,
Aye.
Stacy,
Aye.
Vinnie,
Aye.
Wilmsmeyer.
Aye. All right. Item 8, recommendations and communications for human resources.
Mr. President, the board has recommended that the following recently retirements be accepted. David Kessler, Maintenance Administration Office, effective 6/30/24. So moved. Second?
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Curran,
Aye.
Nunn, I, McMasters, Stacy,
Aye.
Vinnie,
Aye.
Knogle,
Aye.
Wilmsmeyer.
Aye. Item 8B, retirements and resignations.
It is very difficult sometimes to see these when you know these people are gonna be leaving in the near future, but so Mr. President, the board has recommended that the following retirements and resignations be accepted. Mary Historian, Cafe at GCHS, retirement effective 9/30/2025. Kelly Rapoff, fourth grade teacher at Mitchell, retirement in the 25-26 school year. Tom Miller, second grade teacher at Maryville, retirement in the 25-26 school year. Kathleen Conley, science teacher at Manistee High School, retirement in the 25-26 school year. David Kessler, maintenance administrative offices, retiring effective 1/3/22. Shane Condell, the athletic trainer at GCHS, resignation effective 12/31/21. Laura Rotter, kindergarten teacher at Prather, retirement end of 25-26 school year. Paul Kim, custodian and admin offices, retirement effective 6/30/2026. And Fred Wilson, custodian administrative offices, retirement 6/30/26.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Other than we will miss them and appreciate their service.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Roll call, please.
Nunn, I, McMasters,
Aye.
Stacy,
Aye.
Vinnie,
Aye.
Knogle,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
Wilmsmeyer.
Aye. Item 8C, request for leave of absence.
It is recommended the following leaves be approved. Teresa Metter, fifth grade teacher at Grigsby, 11/8/21 to 1/31/21. Linda Ames, social studies teacher, 1/11/15/21 to 2/7/22. Carrie Rosti, fifth grade teacher at Grigsby, 1/3/22 to 4/2/22. Vicki Branding, cafe at Grigsby, 1/10/22 to 1/14/22. Gary Toth, fifth grade teacher at Grigsby, effective 12/7/21 to 3/1/22. Christina Buckingham, cafe at Mitchell, effective 12/6/21 to 2/28/22.
Under mismeasures, shouldn't it be, they should be 1/31/22.
Sure. You are correct, thank you.
So move with Eric's amendment.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
McMasters,
Aye.
Stacy,
Aye.
Vinnie,
Aye.
Knogle,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
Nunn, I, Wilmsmeyer.
Aye. Item 8D, request to extend leave of absence.
It It is recommended the following extensions of leaves be approved. Lisa Reeser, resource teacher Grigsby, 11/11/21 to 2/3/22. And Ms. Terry Mitchell, principal Crowhart, 10/26/21 to 6/30/22.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Stacy,
Aye.
Vinnie,
Aye.
Knogle,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
None, I, McMasters, Wolfmeyer.
Aye. Item 8E, employment of certified classified substitutes for the 21-22 school year.
These always make me happy. Mr. President, the board has recommended the following applicants be board approved as substitutes for the 21-22 school year. It is recommended the following applicants have board approval as substitutes. Certified Robert Good, Alexandre Oliveria, Elizabeth Smith. Classified Patricia Clark, Ty Hobbs, and Corey Levart. Thank you very much.
So moved.
Any discussion?
I'll say I've employed one of the certified staff and representatives here, and then I've taught the other one, so we're getting some great stuff.
That's always good.
Roll call, please.
Vinnie,
Aye.
Knogle,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
None, I, McMasters, Stacy,
Aye.
Wolfmeyer.
Aye. Item 8F, employment of Grigsby Intermediate School principal for the 21-22 school year.
Mr. President of the board, it is my honor that the recommending the following applicant, Ms. Jody Batson, be board approved for the position of Grigsby principal for the 21-22 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Knogle,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
None, I, McMasters,
Aye.
Stacy,
Aye.
Vinnie,
Aye.
Wolfmeyer.
Aye. Item 8G is employment of laborer for the 21-22 school year.
Mr. President, the board has recommended the following applicant, Ty Hobbs, be board approved for, this is, for the, what's this down here, for the
Labor.
labor, because it's wrong, for the laborer position for the 21-22 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call?
Curran,
Aye.
None, I, McMasters,
Aye.
Stacy,
Aye.
Vinnie,
Aye.
Knogle,
Aye.
Wolfmeyer.
Aye. Item 8H, employment of Grigsby, fifth grade teacher for the 21-22 school year. ED teacher, I'm sorry, for the 21-22 school year.
Due to the high enrollment numbers in the ED program at Grigsby, the following candidate is recommended, for employment, Mr. Ed Connolly.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
None, I, McMasters,
Aye.
Stacy,
Aye.
Vinnie,
Aye.
Knogle,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
Wolfmeyer.
Aye. Item 8I, Granite City High School extracurricular resignations for the 21-22 school year.
Administration is recommending the following extracurricular resignations be accepted. Linda Ames, Job Shadow Coordinator, Amy Heath, Job Shadow Coordinator, and Bruce Schreiber, Job Shadow Coordinator.
So moved.
Second.
Who are you giving it to, Zach?
Stacy. I gave Tom on the last one.
Roll call, please.
McMasters,
Aye.
Stacy,
Aye.
Vinnie,
Aye.
Knogle,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
None, I, Wolfmeyer.
Aye. Item 8J, Granite City High School 6-hour extracurriculars for the 21-22 school year.
Permission is requested to approve the following 6-hour assignment for the spring semester at Lake School, which will now be able to offer a work co-op class to high school students who are able to work. The additional compensation will be paid through the TAOP grant monies. We are recommending Ms. Christy Mode for this position.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Stacy,
Aye.
Vinnie,
Aye.
Knogle,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
None, I, McMasters,
Aye.
Wolfmeyer.
Aye. Items 8K, elementary extracurriculars for the 21-22 school year.
It is recommended the following applicants be board approved for the elementary extracurriculars for 21-22 school year, and there are a lot, and they're right in front of you, so. we're not gonna read them all.
There are about 30 plus
Yes.
of them.
They're all for third quarter lunch.
Third quarter lunch too, thank you.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
I will tell you that there are more of them because we added that for for having more social distancing and having different places for lunches, so that was kind of our addition. Paid for from grant money as well.
Excellent news also. Thank you.
Mhm.
Roll call, please.
Vinnie,
Aye.
Knogle,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
None, I, McMasters,
Aye.
Stacy,
Aye.
Wolfmeyer.
Aye. That takes us to old business, item 9A, Juno Associates temporary construction easement to construct sidewalk at Coolidge Middle School.
Juno Associates is requesting a temporary construction easement to replace the Coolidge sidewalk from Feeling Road to the entrance of the parking lot. This will all be completed at the city's expense. The city will restore the property after construction. We did meet about this, and it makes sense. They're gonna end it towards ADA compliance, which is really, all part of that, so approval is recommended.
So moved.
Second.
Motion on a second, I will add to that, so I appreciate Juno Associates bringing this up, because this was a sidewalk that kind of just ended and didn't really have an ending spot into the parking lot, so this is, it's a good addition.
Like the little yellow road.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yellow brick road.
Exactly.
And it's good, and I'm again very thankful that the city is redoing that sidewalk.
They've been
Really
great,
bad shape, but I
great
think-
partners in working with us too, I wanna say, the collaboration's been great.
Absolutely. Roll call, please.
Knoble,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
Nunn, I, McMasters.
Aye.
Stacy,
Aye.
Vinnie,
Aye.
Wilmsmeyer.
Aye. Item 9B, Ameren, Illinois easement, for the Granite City Pipeline Replacement Project on Lake School property.
Sure. You have received info below about the Ameren, requested easement near the Lake School, East 23rd. After discussion with Ameren representatives, Mr. Schooley, myself, we're gonna recommend approval. Do you wanna say anything, Mr. Schooley, or is that?
Yeah, we did go back to Ameren and per the board's direction to get some additional changes made. Those were, Ameren agreed to those. And one thing, if there are any trees taken down, they are gonna provide, they provided an extra $1,000 of compensation so that we could buy saplings to replant. They did move the gas line away from the building further as well. So they did what we wanted to do. And the total easement price is $41,000. The total easement is about less than a third of an acre.
So we had them move because you don't know when you're gonna add on or what you're gonna need. So they were really good to work with and offered a decent price for that easement. So.
Yeah, and they're going to start the project in the summer months when no students are present, but they will give school district notices when they will be on school district property, so everything's taken care of.
That's good, they got what they needed, and
Yes.
I appreciate you all going back to them to approve that project that they had proposed and so forth, so thank you, appreciate that. We will need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Curran,
Aye.
Nunn, I, McMasters. Stacy,
Aye.
Vinnie,
Aye.
Knoble,
Aye.
Wilmsmeyer.
Aye. Item 9C is consideration of tax levy resolution and truth and taxation hearing. So we will need to temporarily, I'll need a motion and a second to temporarily adjourn the Board of Education meeting.
So moved.
Second.
And roll call, please.
Nunn, I, McMasters.
Aye.
Stacy,
Aye.
Vinnie,
Aye.
Knoble,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
Wilmsmeyer.
Aye. And so now I'd like to open the public hearing. Zach, are you going to run this?
Yes, he is.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Turn around.
Zach, you wanna just bring
You gotta bring it closer. Mr. Mitchell set it up here.
Ah.
You wanna set that up, so.
Sure. Yep.
So this is the 2021-2022 tax levy presentation. In this, we will provide some historical info. We will go over the 2021 tax levy and comparison to 2020. And we will cover the debt schedule and then some just examples of how your property taxes are calculated and what the new levy could do to your levy. I got it. Just an outline, we'll cover the tax levy terms, we'll go over some historical charts of district data pertaining to the tax levy, go over the 2021 tax levy collected in 2022, have a 2020-2021 comparison of the rates, I will cover the debt schedule and then estimated 2021 tax rate paid in 2022. Terms, when I say levy, that is what we are asking for. The extension is what we get. The tax rate is how your property taxes are calculated. EAV, equalized assessed valuation, is the total of all property value, or for the individual, is the total value of your house. Limiting rates, those are rates that cannot exceed a certain amount. This is a history of our equalized assessed evaluation. You can see in 2021 and 2020 that it has gone up. We are projecting that it goes up about 13% in 2021. With some warehouses and some TIFs, we want to go out there, we want to try to capture as much of that new money that comes on to lower your tax rate. This is the GCSD9 total levy / extension history. You can see here the path. You can see the dark blue line is what we have asked for. The blue line is what we have gotten. Last year, what we asked for, we basically got. So we were getting pretty close. So we wanted to go out and make sure that we could lower the rate as much as we could for everyone and capture all those dollars. This is the GCSD9 tax rate history. You can see that we started out at about 426 in 2010. As the EAV decreased, it ran up, and then it has been steadily coming down. If we get the 13% increase in EAV, total EAV, which includes new housing and warehouses and TIFs coming off, we will be down to about a 428 rate. Historical new property, this is just historical new property. As you can see in 2021, we jumped up quite large in new property. Some of that has to do with warehouses that have gone in and some other commercial things, along with some new housing. So this is the 2020-2021 levy comparison. In 2020, this is what we asked for. In 2021, we are doing this. We added additional $2.3 million possibly in the ed fund, $30,000 in the special ed fund, $40,000 in tech lease, $400,000 in O&M, $16,000 in debt service, $100,000 in transportation. We're looking for a $75,000 reduction in IMRF. We are looking at a $100,000 add to Social Security, $40,000 to working class cash, a $100,000 reduction in tort, and $40,000 additional in health, life, safety. Remember, that is just what we are asking for. That is not necessarily what we're getting. We're just going out to try to capture. No matter what, the limiting rates over here will apply, except for debt service and IMRF, Social Security, and tort. Those have no limiting rates, but those rates are pretty flat with our changes. Go ahead and go to the next one there. 2021 rate scenarios based upon EAV. There is at 580 million, which is about 5 million more than we have this year, the rate would be about 432. At 648 million, the rate may fall to 422. The current rate is 428. So we should be, I expect everybody's rate to go down as EAV shall climb. So we'll probably be maybe a little bit above, I would guess, the 426-ish rate. Go ahead. Current debt services schedule for Fund 30. We have 3 years of bonded indebtedness left. That rate is based upon 499 million of EAV, so that is a little bit lower. It's about 34 cents at this point, 33 cents, depending on where EAV comes back at. How do I calculate my taxes? You take the fair market value of your house, so let's say you have a $75,000 house. Property is typically assessed at 1/3 minus exemptions. So you would take 75,000 times a third, you'd have $25,000 of assessed valuation. Multiply assessed value by the school tax rate as a percentage. Now remember, so that's 25,000 times the current one is 0.42829, would mean your school taxes were about $1,070. So that would be the tax rate for the current school year, or the 2020 levy. The 2020 rate that's just an example of the current rate. 2021 rate based upon 580 million, it would be about a $12 increase in taxes. However, I don't anticipate that rate. We will be above that rate. I cannot picture being below it. And then 2021 rate with 648 million, you can see that if your property value does not change, you will actually save about $24 a year on your taxes. We are expecting no real change to the tax rate or your property taxes this year. And then what if my house value goes up? You can see the 2020 rate based upon, let's say your house goes up to $80,000 instead of $75,000. You take that and multiply through. These are the two different things. These are just examples, and that is based upon a 6.6% increase in your home value. You can see that your taxes would go up, but that is not based upon necessarily our rate. That is based upon your assessed valuation going up, as your house would be worth more. Go ahead and go to the next one. Here is the comparable tax rates for Madison County in 2020. Last year, or in 2019, we were third. This year, we are now the second lowest rate in Madison County. You can see the going down. The number one is still Roxana. Then there's Granite, Collinsville, Edwardsville, Highland, Venice, Alton, Bethalto, Triad, St. Jacob, Hartford, East Alton, and then Madison. In this example, please remember that there are many things that can determine your property taxes are figured. These examples represent the most basic calculations just of the school district tax rate, not any cities or counties or anything like that. So remember, when you see this presentation, it is simply just the school district's rate, not your total tax bill. That would be all.
So at this time, do we have any comments, any questions for Zach? All about taxes, right?
It's a fascinating subject.
Yes, it is. Yes, and you did I'll say you did a phenomenal job there, Zach, because it's really trying to understand all that for the layman that doesn't necessarily understand their taxes. You did a very good job there. You have 1 point of 3 years left on the bonded indebtedness of
Yes.
the district. Just a general question. How are we in comparison to other school districts that you're aware of in terms of debt?
I would put us probably in would be in the top, probably 10% of lowest amount of debt of any school district.
In the state.
In the state.
Yeah.
It is, yes.
We're between 5 and 6.
We're at 5, we just paid that, so we're probably at $5 million in total debt left. We have 5.6, 5.8, our last payment, most of them are around $2 million, so we got two $2 million payments and one $1.6 million.
We're in, the Edwardsville school districts have a little over 160 million
Wow.
in debt. So, and they're starting to have to service that debt as well.
And to keep the tax rate low is also, I know, appreciated by the taxpayers, so.
We do our best.
Yep.
And just so the board is aware, this is property tax board of review time. And what Zach was referring to the warehouse district down at Pontoon Beach, in that area that's been in the news unfortunately for the last 3 or 4 days. All the warehouses are objecting to their property taxes because the Shoto Township assessor who assesses that property increased their square footage price from $23 a square foot on one warehouse to $45. All of those warehouses are now assessed at $45 a square foot. We will be getting a bill for 8 different appraisals that I had done on those various warehouses. But within those appraisals, there's comparisons to all the other warehouses out there to try to maintain that current EAV at the $45 a square foot. And the hearing so far, the Board of Review has been very receptive, and they've affirmed the assessor's calculation at $45 a square foot. Some of our appraisals are coming in at $50 to $69 a square foot based upon the age, ceiling height, and a lot of different factors. But it's important that we keep those all at the same price, because the fact that they are paying more, it means that the residents, people that own property, houses, that means that we pay a little bit less.
So it's worth the appraisal fee to do this?
What is the appraisal fee?
It's worth the appraisal fee.
It is absolutely worth the appraisal, and a lot of the appraisals, because Edwardsville, the city of Edwardsville and the Edwardsville School District annexed down into that area, so we have an agreement, and the board approved it, that we are sharing cost of those appraisals, 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, with the city of Edwardsville, Edwardsville School District, and the Granite School District. So it's money well spent to try to keep the EAV out there in that warehouse district where it is right now.
So we make the levy now in anticipation of what we think the EAV will be.
We're guessing.
Right.
When I have to put my levy together based upon a guess of what I think EAV could or could not do.
It's interesting that they do it in that order. You'd think you'd be able to wait until you see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we want to go out there and shoot high so we can capture that
Yeah.
additional EAV.
It brings down the rates in the unlimited funds to where it lowers the overall rate. The locked-in rates we try to hit anyway, because if we don't hit that rate or our max EAV, that's what the Illinois State Board of Education is using. So technically we would be leaving money on the table because they're expecting us to go get all of that EAV when they figure out our local resources with the EBF funding. So as that goes up, our EBF funding goes down, so we want to make sure that we don't completely lose out on revenue, because it could create a spot where EBF isn't as much and we left money on the table that should have made up for the EBF.
Evidence-based funding.
Huh?
They might not know what EBF is.
Oh, evidence-based funding, yes, yes.
That
Any
is
other
the,
questions?
that is the new formula by which the state
right.
determines how much each school district gets.
Anyone? Other questions? All right, Zach, thank you again. At this time, I'd like
Thank you.
to close the public hearing, and I will need a motion to reconvene the regular board meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Who's the first one?
Linda.
And then Tom.
And roll call, please.
McMasters. Stacy.
Aye.
Vinny.
Aye.
Knoble.
Aye.
Curran.
Aye.
None. I. Wilmsmeyer.
Aye. And we will need a motion to approve the 2021 school district tax levy resolution.
So moved.
Second?
Couldn't give it to Zach.
Give it to Linda. With no thought process.
Any
right?
discussion? Roll call, please.
Stacy.
Aye.
Vinny.
Aye.
Knoble.
Aye.
Curran.
Aye.
None. I. McMasters.
Aye.
Wilmsmeyer.
Aye. And I believe, unless I've missed something, that takes us to item number 10. Is that right? Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yep.
Item number 10, new business, 10A Chromebook purchase.
Right. Mr. President of the Board, there's a recommendation to approve Chromebook purchases with the ESSER 2 grant funding for the 22-23 school year. This is how we are maintaining our sustainability with our Chromebooks and through the grant funds, which are set for that. And we are requesting 1,500 Chromebooks for the 1st, 5th, and 9th grade students with ESSER funding for the 22-22 school year. Devices are necessary to keep us on a four-year replacement cycle and continue with the one-to-one devices for students. Due to availability and supply chain delays, we are requesting to order devices as soon as possible. The supply chain delays are incredible. Zach, what are we out? 6 months, easy?
I hope he gets them by summer.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what we're hoping.
There's also some lead time in preparing 1,500 Chromebooks
Sure.
for the staff, so.
But that's what I guess, yeah. We are recommending to use Trifera due to the specific warranty and setup that they provide. They allow us to become a self-maintainer and bulk ship to us warranty parts on on-site repairs, which helps us as well. This process creates faster repair times for student devices. They also unbox and enroll devices in Google before shipping, which is a really big deal. Saving many hours on setup and deployment. The selected vendor, Trifera, is listed below with those, and approval is recommended.
So moved.
Second?
Motion and a second, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Vinnie,
Aye.
Knoble,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
Nunn, I, McMaster's,
Aye.
Stacy,
Aye.
Wilmsmeyer.
Aye. Item 10B, hotspot renewal.
I don't think Brad needs to do this, it's just, authorization is requested to renew hotspots for the Digital Relief Grant Fund. We renewed our Digital Relief Grant again, so that's what these are using this for. These funds are to be utilized to help the districts close the digital divide with a focus on student one-to-one device environments. The original purchase of the hotspots with the same funding in 2020 and was a 24-month agreement. These funds will continue that agreement for another 36 months with T-Mobile. These devices will continue to be used for students who do not have access to the internet outside the district. The monthly cost per device is $15.17 for 36 months at 562 devices. These are greatly needed. It allowed us to reach all of our students during remote learning. We also, it was the reason we were, I think, successful in that. So I'm glad that they renewed this and allowed us to do this for our students.
So when you say outside the district, we actually mean
Oh,
outside
sorry.
the district
Outside the
building.
building.
Right.
Not outside
Sorry.
of the district.
Right. Good point. That's right.
Thank you for the
Good catch
clarification.
on that
I
one.
appreciate
Right,
it.
but it's really is, really nice to be able to provide those for students that didn't have in their homes. So approval is recommended.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Knoble,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
Nunn, I, McMaster's,
Aye.
Stacy,
Aye.
Vinnie,
Aye.
Wilmsmeyer.
Aye. Item 8C, Grigsby roof bid.
Mr. President of the Board, the tabulation of the Grigsby roof bid is below. We had Baby Roofing, $2,453,343, Lakeside at $2,569,783. We are recommending Baby Roofing for this portion. Basis of recommendation is low bid specifications. Approval is recommended.
So moved.
Second.
Give Stacy.
Motion and a second, any discussion? And it'll be good to get that roof done.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
Roll call, please.
Curran,
Aye.
Nunn, I, McMaster's,
Aye.
Stacy,
Aye.
Vinnie,
Aye.
Knoble,
Aye.
Wilmsmeyer.
Aye. Item 8D, limitation of administrative costs.
Mr. President, the Board Administration is requesting the approval to pass a resolution to exceed the 5% increase to administrative costs. This was due to the addition of the COVID recovery coordinator that is grant funded completely. So action items are to hold a public hearing to do that.
Yeah, so actually we gotta go back and do another public
Yep.
hearing here tonight, so 2 public hearings tonight, so, thank you all
So
for your
much
patience
fun.
on that. I will need a motion to temporarily adjourn the Board of Education meeting.
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Nunn, I, McMaster's,
Aye.
Stacy,
Aye.
Vinnie,
Aye.
Knoble,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
Wilmsmeyer.
Aye. And we'll now open the public hearing. Stephanie, do you wanna take this?
Would just recommending to approve the resolution of the limitation of administrative costs. There's a way to read the resolution, or just say that it's below.
In a nutshell,
I mean-
any time that the administrative costs are 5% over the previous year, you're required by school code
Yeah, there you go.
to have a public hearing and explain those costs, and Stephanie just explained the cost.
Right, it's the COVID renewal renovation coordinator position, which is 100% grant funded, but even still, it's part of our administrative.
And just a quick tidbit, I had to call the state on this because we had to be in the bottom quartile % to do this. And when I asked where we were, because I did not know, it's not readily published anywhere, we've never had to worry about it. But out of
385 school districts, our administrative costs came in at 323 out of 385. So one being the most costs and 385 being the lowest administrative cost, we were 323.
Fantastic.
I know.
Mr. Good News tonight.
So.
Yeah.
It is.
So approval is
Taxes
recommended.
to.
Wow, Zach,
I know, he's just.
I'm full of it today.
you're punching above your weight class.
So we approve it in this, or when we come back?
Come back at the regular session. Any other comments or discussion on this? Questions? It's a little confusing, but it all has to do with the administrative cost and the 5% rate.
So just out of curiosity, if we exceed the 5%, what percent are we at now then, if we do approve this?
I think we're,
Like 6,
it just
7?
means over last year, we went
Yeah.
over 5%. I think it was probably, I'm sorry, I didn't.
It's not something crazy like 20%.
No.
Like 7 or 8, I
That's the point
think.
I'm just trying to make, like, it's
Yeah.
not like crazy.
Our administrative costs are relatively low, so a percentage increase on his salary would be pretty good.
Yep.
So it wasn't that bad. There also was raises this year, and there was about a 5% increase in health insurance. So we were gonna be pretty close to this, based upon just standard business.
Great.
And if inflation stays at 6%, we're probably going to eventually hit this with health insurance at some point.
And Zach,
Awesome.
this is the first time we've actually had to do this.
Yes, this is the first time we've had to do this.
I really just want to, really for the viewers at home to understand, like, we're not in a financial crisis, we're not being crazy with our spending.
No, it was, the position we added that pushed us over was all grant funded.
Yeah. Thank you.
Very good. Any other comments or questions? Okay, if not, I'll close this public hearing, and I'll need a motion to reconvene the regular board meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Wow, that was right at the same time.
Who's the second? Honestly, I don't even
They almost didn't want to.
Roll call, please, Zach.
McMasters,
Aye.
Stacy,
Aye.
Vinnie,
Aye.
Knogle,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
none, I, Wilmsmeyer.
Aye. And I'll need a motion to approve the 21-22 school limitation of administrative costs resolution.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Stacy,
Aye.
Vinnie,
Aye.
Knogle,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
none, I, McMasters, Wilmsmeyer.
Aye. Very good. Item 10E, IMRF omitted service credit.
Mr. President of the Board, the administration is requesting the approval to grant prior IMRF omitted service credit for John Village, Sue Gedeke, Charles Herring, Sherry Listen, Greg Klutz, Kenny Britt, Kevin Hayes, Ricky Del Pazzo, and Lisa Schoenauer.
Yeah,
I was gonna, I had to call Zach. So he's
When-
going to explain, I could do it, but he would do it much better.
When these people subbed for us, we put them in a pretty full-time position that exceeded the amount of hours that we should have been paying IMRF on. So what we did was, we went back, as we got audited by IMRF, we've been cleaning these people up and adding their service credit to them. It also means they can retire sooner, which lowers our costs, so our administrative costs can go down. But all these people are here, they subbed for us in a full-time capacity. They should have been given IMRF, they just weren't.
IMRF is Illinois Municipal.
Illinois Municipal Retirement Fund, absolutely.
And I do know they get to be sticklers about how many hours you can work without being in IMRF, so.
Yes, and we walk a fine, like, we have subs that may work 1 day a week, but then there might be times where they work 10 days or 5 days a week, or 10 days every 2 weeks, and they start hitting these hours, and you gotta turn them on and off. It has been a full-time job for somebody just to kind of keep track, and we asked IMRF, can we just flag everybody, because we're using sub. If you're a sub for us and you wanna work every day, you can work every day at this point. So, but they're like, no, you gotta track this. So,
And again, this is not the first time this has happened. Zach, were you on board with that we had to do for the OTPTs?
yeah, we've had to do this a couple times.
Yeah, so it's, and whenever they do an audit, they normally turn something up to, or we have to amend the way we're doing things.
Move to approve.
Have a motion by Erica? Second by Eric. Any discussion additional? Roll call, please.
Vinnie,
Aye.
Knoble,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
Nunn, I, McMasters, Stacy,
Aye.
Wilmsmeyer.
Aye. And item 10F, IMRF in lieu of healthcare benefits.
Also, do you want to explain this one, Jeff?
Yeah.
Already asked him once.
This is-
Here.
If you decline, if your spouse declines family insurance, we, instead of paying for the full family insurance, we give you $1,200 instead of paying for family insurance as an incentive for the spouse to stay on their own health insurance and save us the cost of family insurance. At which point you do that, you get $1,200. We've been audited 3 times by MRF since I've been here, and this started in 2015, and this is the first time they've asked for this. This just allows us to do that. It's a little cleanup item from them.
So moved.
Second.
Yeah, I guess just a question, is this the first time that they've asked?
Yes,
Okay.
which surprised me and Sherry, because I was like, we've done this, so we were confused.
Okay. Very good. Any additional questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Knoble,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
Nunn, I, McMasters, Stacy,
Aye.
Vinnie,
Aye.
Wilmsmeyer.
Aye. Item number 11, reports and other communications. Item A for you.
We have received one request under the Freedom of Information Act during the period of November 2nd, 21 through December 7th, 21. The first request was received on November 19th from Karen Garcia, Data Acquisition Specialist at Smart Procure. She requested the following information: all employee, staff contact information, first name, last name, position, department, district phone number, business cell number if provided by the district, email address from the district, office address. This request was handled by administration.
And that is therefore report only. We don't need to take any action on that one, and so thank you for handling that. We appreciate that. Item 11B, Granite City High School, November 21, activity fund statement, bank reconciliation statement, and the memorial fund statement, as well as the October activity account statement, are there in the packet. Item 8F, the November treasurer's report also is there. Any questions on any of those? All there just for reports, so no action needed for that. Item 11G, supervisor facility maintenance, management, Eric Smith.
Yep, are you there, Mr. Smith?
I'm here. Do you hear me?
Here.
Yes.
We have a tab, I'll tell him real quick, Mr. Okay.
You can see by what I have here, what we're spending a lot of money in this next year is gonna be Grigsby. We thought about trying to do the roof in half sections. Ended up, we're gonna probably do the whole thing, which we are gonna do the whole thing, just for supplies and cost. We don't know what next year is gonna hold in the following year. But if we're able to do a roof, you can look at 23, 24, we're moving on to ProArt to replace that roof. We're doing sidewalk repairs, in all the schools eventually, depending once the roofs are completed, the exterior tuck pointing is completed, then we'll fall in and we'll start doing, sidewalk repair and site repair. If you go to 24, 25, where, you can see, fire alarm repairs are every year, but here we're gonna be at Fraser. Those need to be updated every 10 years. So with this plan, every year has a fire alarm in there, so we can update those, and then it will just continue. We're looking at HVAC upgrades, depending on funding, on how we can do those at different schools. If 25, 26, that's when we're looking at starting some roof replacement at the high school, depending on probably the shingle roofs, what shapes they're in. That's toward the end of our actual painters' careers. Some of them are gonna retire, and they're wanting to start painting lockers. So those are gonna be the summers that we'll go into Coolidge and Grigsby and start repainting lockers, maybe get some more neutral colors instead of the brighter colors. That's up for debate. And at 26 and 27, we're looking at, most of the exterior doors by that time will be all completed. Fraser, we should have completed before we're here. I have it that we're going to replace it at 26, 27. Before that time, I look to have that done. And this is always subject to change depending on supplies, what problems we're having. This is just kind of a bare bones idea, so we know kind of what direction we're gonna go. And if anyone has any questions, I'm always available.
Yeah, Eric, I appreciate it. I think what's missing in our packet was the later
Yeah.
years. We've got the critical ones, which are the early years, and I know Zach needs that for budgeting. And I know you all are working together to make sure we've got the money to handle all these. But I just wanna say, fantastic job in laying this out over a 5-year plan for improving all of our schools, keeping them up, making sure they're safe, and just the HVAC, the heating, ventilation, air conditioning system, the sidewalks, everything associated with it. There's just a lot that goes into when you own a lot of old buildings, and as you know, so we appreciate it.
It is a lot.
And, we had to put
Top
this,
of all of it, though.
yeah, had to put that together, and some of the air quality, improvements, HVAC are falling under our grant funding as well, so we're able to do that for air quality. So I'm just really happy you put together. I apologize that you don't have 25, 26, 26, 27. We'll get those to you.
Appreciate that.
So
Yeah,
we really appreciate it, Eric.
great job, Eric. Great job.
Thank you.
All right, perfect. Thanks for that. And Stephanie, would you like to?
Yes, okay, so I suppose I would be remiss tonight if I did not mention that, Mr. David Kessler and his wife Linda are here tonight. Now, keep in mind, I don't usually see him in such a nice jacket. So, he's here doing work all the time, but I wanted to make sure that we, recognize him tonight for all his years of service, and his wife Linda also retired from the district, so we just wanted to thank you and make sure we recognize you tonight as well. Sorry we didn't do that earlier.
It's been a fast 35 years.
It is, isn't it? I know. Yeah, well, yeah, he's 50 tonight.
He also helped out the library immensely for that year and a half that we were at Niedring House. He gave me his phone number, and I think I only used it once or twice to bother you. But he was on it with any request that we had. He made sure we were taken care of, and that was how we met, really, was back then. Yeah.
We hope he enjoys his time, and if you get a chance, go by his house. He has great Christmas decorations. Just saying.
We appreciate all your years of service, both of you, and thank you so much, and hopefully it's a great retirement, and enjoy it, please. And as Bill said earlier, we got room for bus drivers, so.
Yeah, just saying. You don't have to walk much. You sit down, enjoy the ride.
That's a tougher job than people think.
I know, we're trying to make it
relaxing.
Right. Thank you very much.
Thank you again, we appreciate you. At this time, I will entertain a motion to enter into executive session for, the agenda tonight is to talk about student disciplinary matters. There are a whole bunch of exemptions noted under 5 ILCS on the Open Meetings Act, and tonight we will be talking about GCSD9 student disciplinary matters.
So moved. Second?
Roll call, please.
Curran,
Aye.
Nunn, aye. McMasters, Stacy,
Aye.
Vinnie,
Aye.
Knoble,
Aye.
Holmesmeyer.
Aye. Thank you very
7:09.
much.
7:09.